Hey, what's up? Well, I'm back again, back with what might be my final video before the move. And I would like to say that in this video, you see my dad works just this one day and then he's off and then we have to move. And I would like to move as much as humanly possible. Even though he's going to continue to live in this apartment, I want it to be as empty as possible. Okay, so we've been getting a lot accomplished, and packing is not really the most fun thing to do, but I have to do it. And what I like to talk about in this video, well, I'd like to talk about something different, and that's my singing. Once again, it's hot and overcast. Even though we're in December, the only time when it's supposed to look like a freaking Christmas postcard with snow everywhere. The one time a year that it should be cold, and it decides to be overcast and humid and hot, okay? And I have to wear t-shirts, just to feel okay, not cool, but okay. Okay, so what I like to talk about in this video is, singing, and I don't know, I want to title it like, I hate crying and Home Alone, but I really am tired of talking about that. Just can't get that frog out of my throat. Just really, that's another subject matter. Just I hate crying, I guess I could say. I don't know. But I just don't like getting emotional, you know. I never have really. It's just like so many things about my body that I'm ashamed of is my tears. And that's why sunglasses are a wonderful thing, because it gives you a little bit of time, before the tears just start flowing down your face, to dry it up before people see it. So, just want to talk about, how I don't like to get really emotional about anything. And just, about my singing, okay? And I may have to disable comments because I'm taking a risk by uploading a clip of me singing. And while I think I have a wonderful voice, I like my voice. I enjoy listening to myself sing. It soothes me like no other voice in the world. Um, you know, and I really enjoy hearing myself sing, but other people disagree. A lot of people don't like my voice. I don't know. They just find fault with it. They think I need singing lessons. They just don't like my voice. And it's just, I really hate it when people make fun of my voice, because it's in many ways an immutable physical characteristic. I can't really do that much about my voice. Um, and it's just very annoying, when people make fun of my voice. They can't disagree with what I'm saying, but they can make fun of my voice and how I sound when I say it. So, I like to sing, but I really don't like things that make me emotional. Like I've talked about Home Alone and that song Somewhere in My Memory. Like, I can't listen to it without crying, because I know what the lyrics say and what they mean to me. Okay, and it's just it makes me so mad when my daddy watches Home Alone. And, it's not just the fact that he's seen the movie 500 times if he's seen it once. It's also the fact that that song, it just gets me all emotional, and I hate it for that reason. I hate feeling emotional. It makes me feel like I'm not in control. And I just want to talk about that. How, singing is hard because I have to sing something, that doesn't make me emotional. And, I don't know, it's just really hard to find my voice and my range, because a lot of times it's like, like Taylor Swift, she sings too high, but then a lot of male singers are singing too low, so it's kind of hard to find my range. And just a lot of things around Christmas get me emotional. And the reason why, like, Somewhere in My Memory gets me emotional, because I know all the lyrics, and it's like, it just reminds me of the fact that we once had a home. We were a family, we had a home, and yet my daddy threw that away with both hands, and yet he still wants to sit around and watch Home Alone. And it just makes me angry, when I see Home Alone, because I can't be living in the house that we lived in the first time I watched it. You know what I'm saying? When I was like about 7 years old. Um, and it just really makes me mad that, he can just sit there and not feel a thing. All he cares about is the stupid scenes with the bad guys and laughing about that. But yet I hear, just the instrumental of Somewhere in My Memory, and it makes me emotional, because in my mind I know what the lyrics are. And, I just have to get away when he starts watching that, because like, I don't want to get emotional. I hate getting emotional. Freaking hate it. So, finding my range, my singing range is very difficult. And it just feels like I have a continuous frog in my throat all the time. I feel like, the best way, I don't know how to explain this, but the best way to describe female puberty and why it's so awful is because you pretty much have to imagine just all the negative things that happen to boys in puberty. Okay, just imagine the negative things that happen to boys, and just understand that they do happen to girls, maybe to a lesser degree, but, like the acne, the excessive body hair or unwanted body hair in our case, the body odor, the sweating, the horn dog syndrome in the morning, and then I go pee and it goes away. um, it just like a lot of the negative things that happen to boys in puberty also happen to girls, but unfortunately, it's almost like having a puberty that just doesn't complete. You know what I'm saying? It just stops halfway, and it's like, getting to Tanner stage 2 and just we don't progress. You know what I'm saying? We stop growing taller, our voice stops changing, and it's like, it's like being stuck in the 7th grade. That's why I will spend the rest of my life obsessed with my 7th grade year, because I feel like I'm like my emotional and physical development just stopped there. It's like I got fatter, I'm getting gray hairs, but mentally, emotionally, I'm still that 7th grade girl in 96, 97. And so it just feels like my voice just kind of got to Tanner stage 2 of what would be male puberty, but it just never finished changing. And one time, I don't know if I told this story before, but we were at this church and they had story time. And I was like maybe 14 or 15, at my peak of wanting to be a guy. And there was a story, and it was sort of like the Polar Express, with the different details and all that. And it was about this little boy that, he could see this angel on a tree that for whatever reason was a 6-year-old boy like him, an angel on a tree singing, and he could hear it singing when he was 6 years old. And then, as he got older, he could still hear it singing, and, he went on this fun adventure with Santa Claus and all that. But then as he got older, he got to a point where he was too tall for the sleigh or something like that. And he could no longer hear the angels singing. It's like it just freaking always sounded like a 6-year-old boy. And, just trying really hard not to get emotional about this, just like that's somewhere in my memory. Okay, and so one day, he couldn't hear the angel, and then his, little boy says, "Daddy, why is that angel singing?" And it's like, I just don't want to get emotional about it, something so ridiculous. I just much rather be making a video where I laugh about characters freaking crapping their pants. But it's like the little boy could hear the angel. So like, the Polar Express, the little boy could hear the angel, but the daddy couldn't. His voice had changed. He had become a man and everything. And, but the little boy could still hear it. And it's like, and the angel still sounded like a 6-year-old boy. And so here I was, maybe 14 or 15 or something. And my sister was about that age. Let's see, she's 9 years younger than me. So when I was 14, she was 5. When I was 15, she was 6. And so it's like, here I am, 14 years old and, kind of, just at the peak of wanting to be a guy and crap. And, just hearing a story like that, it just took every ounce of strength in my body not to cry. And then I came home and it was like, I just cried so much that pretty much had to wring out my pillow in the bathtub. I mean, is that freaking emotional, just like, somewhere in my memory. And so, I don't know, it's like I can't even read things or sing things that make me feel emotional. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a just a continuous reminder that I'm not a guy. I never will be, never can be. And, it just really gets me emotional. And I feel like, like at 14 or 15 years old, it's like, I'm stuck in this, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a pubertal purgatory of sort. Like, I don't know, like I'm stuck, like, it's like if you're, the best way to describe it to a man is like, you just get to, like, mid-puberty or something, like Tanner stage 2 or 3 or something like that. And your body just stops going through the changes that men normally go through. And instead, you get periods and breasts and all these unwanted changes that we have as women. Instead, it's like, instead of like continue on with the changes, you know, especially the voice change, you know, that would have you taken more seriously by the world, you know what I'm saying? Having a deeper voice, and like all those changes that men have that make them different from us. It's like you don't go through with all that, but instead you have the changes that you never wanted, you know, like I've stated before, you know, periods and breast. So, I hope I'm not getting too emotional, but, you know, I have to disable the comments because I will not allow people to criticize my voice. You know, it is my voice, and I can't really do much about the way it sounds. You know, if people that want to disagree with me can only make fun of my voice, you know, that's pretty low. And so I'll go ahead and end this video and get back to my packing, and hopefully we'll move very soon. This night we pray our lives will show this dream he had. Each child still knows. This night we pray our lives will show this dream he had. Each child still knows. We are waiting. We have not forgotten. We are waiting. We have not forgotten. On this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night.